1 teaspoon of cornstarch, that will help thicken the juices, and a half a cup of sugar. This is the filling of your crumbles, and a mighty good filling it is, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Just stir these together. So delicious. And the raspberries really go well with gooseberries. This is also a very nice pie filling if you want to make a pie. But I want to save you time, so that you have time to go to the game or to the lake or someplace fun. So save time by making simple things. And I have tiny ramekins. They're really about a little more than half cup size, and they make a very pretty single serving. So I'm going to use 8 of these and fill them with our fruits. Gooseberries are small, tart fruits, and they're very delicious eaten raw at the peak of ripeness, or used for making jams and jellies, pies, and other desserts. They're very low in calories and packed with essential nutrients such as vitamins A and C, even manganese, and lots of dietary fiber. So if you have a chance and are able to grow another berry in your garden, put a few gooseberries in your garden. They grow very well. I've had mine in my garden for more than 15 years, and they are loaded with berries each and every summer. So there, now we're ready to make the crisp topping. We have 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour, add a half a teaspoon of salt, 1/3 of a cup of dark brown sugar. If we can get the dark brown out of there and mix this up. You can do it with your hands or with a whisk. And we're going to then also add 6 tablespoons of butter that is now room temperature, which is the right temperature for making a crisp crumble like this. Again, you can mix this with your fingers or with a fork or with a pastry cutter. And one spice that goes really well with gooseberries is nutmeg. And I don't know when I first discovered that, but it was a while ago, and I love the taste of nutmeg, freshly grated. And it's very pungent, so you don't need too much. I'd say about half a teaspoon. And just stir that in. There. And now, just put a little bit on top of each, trying to keep it in the dish if possible. It's the nature of crumbs to go all over the place. I wish I had a little piece of parchment paper on here, because then I wouldn't have so much cleanup. I think I'll transfer it to a parchment-lined baking sheet, because I don't want to be scrubbing a lot of baking sheets. When you're adding this to the top, just squeeze it, and it makes more crumbs. Your oven should be preheated to 375 degrees, and you're going to bake these little dessert dishes for approximately 35 minutes. So simple and utterly delicious. Now just transfer these. I try to teach you good habits for baking also, and this is a very good habit to save a lot of time, is to put parchment, which is inexpensive. A piece of parchment about that size costs a couple cents. If this melted on the sheet and this dripped over, you would have a pretty hard time cleaning up. And this way I can use up all the rest of the crumbs. So pop that right into the oven, set your timer for 35 minutes. They're going to be real pretty. So when these have cooled to room temperature, just scoop vanilla ice cream right on top and let it soften on top of the crumble. And you have a dessert that is so fantastic. There's not going to be anything left over, but just